The Beatles are breaking up.
5 decades ago, the Beatles split up after their final studio album, Let It Be, hit the charts. While in the same year, Paul McCartney released his self-titled first solo album. However, his bandmates were hardly fans of his 1970 debut. Speaking with Rolling Stone a year later, John Lennon was as candid as ever, calling the McCartney album rubbish. The late Beatle said, "I think he'll make a better one when he's frightened into it. But I thought that first one was just a lot of, remember what I told you when it came out? Light and easy." Lennon is also believed to have called it Engelbert Humperdinck music, while George Harrison tried to sugarcoat his criticism of McCartney's solo debut. Speaking with WABC-FM New York in 1970, the quiet Beatle picked out the song he liked. Harrison said, "That would be something, and maybe I'm amazed I think are great. And everything else I think is fair, is quite good, but a little disappointing." Harrison continued, "But I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be disappointed. Maybe it's best not to expect anything, and then everything's bonus, I think those 2 tracks in particular are really very good, and the others, just don't do much for me," he added, "because I can hear other people play better drums and guitars and things. And the arrangements of some of these songs, like Teddy Boy and Junk and stuff, with a little bit more arrangement, they could have sounded better." I suppose it was the only thing he felt he could do at the time, and he started off just testing his machine. Eddie Cochran did something like that, though, didn't he? Summertime Blues and Come On Everybody, he played bass, guitar, drums. McCartney had been insistent that his solo album release on April 17, 1970, a week before the Beatles' Let It Be. According to the Telegraph, Ringo hand-delivered a letter from Lennon and George Harrison to McCartney at his St. John's Wood home. The contents said that releasing the 2 albums so close together was stupid, and so the Beatles had told the record company to postpone McCartney's solo album until June 4th. In Beatles' book, The One You Make, it's reported by a source that McCartney flew into a rage at the news. Allegedly, McCartney went completely out of control, shaking his finger at Ringo and shouting, "I'll finish you all! You'll pay!" In the end, the Beatles' drummer told Lennon and Harrison they should let him have the April 17th date, so Let It Be was moved to early May.